forces, good lord. Can't even pronounce munitions. Anyhow, the reason I'm placing the pack here with these tank chaps is I'm figuring if he's going to attack somewhere, it's most likely going to be here, since he's got the most shortest route here where he can advance in relatively safe quarters, and so I figure I'd best go there. And the reason I'm not completely walling that off is because I'm not rather keen on blocking off any potential routes where I might need to make a counter-attack using armor or vehicles, and so it's a bit stupid if you wall yourself in. First captain is out, and first piece of light armor, the Stuart light tank, is out, ready to make a dash for king and country. Mortar fire shelling the British positions at the 5 munition VP, causing numerous casualties. More specifically, 7 infantrymen has been reaped with this mortar. Having secured the northern munitions, I begin laying down some defenses, not because I'm expecting to completely hold it, but at least to delay any sort of attacks and attempts to retaking such a position, which is rather a key part in my defensive philosophy. I'm not expecting to just completely hold them off, I'm mostly expecting to delay them so I can keep firing at them, or allow me to make a counter-attack. Here I make the foolish mistake of not retreating in time, and my Volksgrenadier pay for it. 5 men slaughtered in a rain of shrapnel from the canister shot, which I do believe will be fixed in the patch, so it won't be quite as lethal. It hits the mine I had set up, actually intended for infantry, since any sort of fellow caught out in the open water and hitting a mine is going to be hit rather hard. But seeing as the tank is badly damaged and a bit more of an open target, I figure why not, and send in my infantry to try and take it out. At the same time, the British player has secured himself another Stuart, giving him a minor armor advantage while I still have none. And it's not very likely he's going to try and launch an attack on my base using only Stuarts. Those would still face some mines. The attack is underway. Patch of wrecks flying, bullets flying, and a British force moving in to assist the Stuart, which slowly pulls out despite its damaged engine, and my troops suffering some casualties as they try to hunt it down, and ultimately I realize it's not going to happen. A grenade thrown and not really doing anything, as retreating troops take a lot less damage from everything. And the British player has decided to completely seal this off and has placed another machine gun nest. Not something I usually recommend, since he's already here used about 560 manpower on static emplacements with nothing to really support them. Well, that's rather his choice, not mine. At the same time, a second motorcycle is lost to burn fire. And my first piece of armor, the Sturmgeschütz, is moving forwards in the hopes of acting as a deterrent to the Stuart light tank, albeit I know it's not going to do a marvelous job, but it's going to do the trick. And again, I'm sort of expecting some sort of kangaroo invasion, and for that the Stuart will do alright, I figure, until I can get something a bit more powerful. Counter-attack is mobilized to retake this 5 munition point, again not for the sake, no other sake than providing me with some early warning towards any attack towards my base. And it goes well, killing 1 man and sending the others running away. And I've still yet to try and reap the munitions of any vehicles, which I realized too late. A Kampfkraft percentage is going up, which is something I'd recommend to most Wehrmacht players. Personally, I have I'm not always good at using it, but I still recommend it because at least, for example, Veterancy 1, you get automatic healing for your troops, which I suppose you could, if you need some sort of imaginary idea to imagine it, just consider first aid training. Look, Hans, you use band-aids. Anyhow, British attack. Churchill lumbering in to provide support, yet standing still, actually not doing anything. And what I thought was basically an attempt to stop whatever was capping here turns into a larger firefight, losing some pioneers in the process with flamethrowers and moving those chaps in, trying to stop it. The Churchill still not moving for whatever reasons. Another infantry section retreating barely alive, not killed. And the lieutenant going down, Veterancy 1, going to be a bit of a loss to the British. And the first one is being pulled back and repaired by sappers. And now the Churchill pulls back, haven't done anything. Bit of a waste, really. And here it goes, first in training for the Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers, and now they're capable of taking care of themselves a bit, meaning I won't have to use medipack upgrades, so I can save munitions on that. So it's a bit, so you can think of it like that if you want to. Another raid on the munition point. I think there was something else there rather than munitions. Possibly whiskey. Continuing on the tank defenses. In the meanwhile, Volksgrenadiers running out once more, ready to die for the fatherland, although I'm sure they're not keen on being shredded alive like that one. The defenses they erected still there, sort of. A second Stug is out, since Stugs aren't really good unless at least in pairs, and still I'd not really recommend them at the moment for anything than dealing with armor at, well, desperate moments, or if they're bottled up. Otherwise I'd recommend Panzer IV, to be honest. The Churchill has finally made a move and crushed my barriers at the northern VP, Bridge VP. And again, for you newcomers, certain armor units like the Churchill, the Tiger, Sherman Crocodile with the bulldozer can crush tank traps, they can crush head rows and other sorts of obstacles other tanks might not be able to break through, and so you can use that, for example, to break through where the enemy might think himself confident. So, hope you can use that one. A mortar team is quickly set up to try and provide fire support.
We're losing territory.
And with not much success, apparently managing to hit only the place right in front of them. Apparently someone had too much of the snaps, you know what I mean? Sorry, a bit of Danish going in there. Firefight breaking out. Churchill versus the Stugs. Behind sappers with Piats opening fire, doing a lot of damage to the Stugs and trying to pull them out. Got Veterancy 1 working for them, which means they'll be a bit tougher and harder to break. Pioneers rushing up, further Grenadiers, Volksgrenadiers. A real big fight breaking out in the center. And over there, Stug knocked out. Tragic loss. And first sapper fall to gunfire from the Grenadiers, and they move further forwards in an attempt to hold things back. Canister shot knock, killing several Grenadiers, but they hold their ground, and at the same time I've gone for the terror doctrine. Sorry if I did not mention that before, but at this point I figured I'd need that if I needed to mount some sort of counterattack, and that probably would involve some losses, at which point terror doctrine is quite good at it, since fanatism allows your men to fight on despite numerous casualties and fight harder. Plus I figure the King Tiger is always handy. Once more an infantry section, barely making it out alive despite my troops' best attempts. And I decide to send in the Stug in the hope to knock out some sort of armor and claim at least some sort of loss out of this victory. And Stewart knocked out. pulling back the Stuke and hoping to knock out the Churchill, but no luck. Shots bouncing off that very thick wall. Piets appearing, and my pioneers bravely rushed forward, trying to stop them from firing, grabbing the Piet and retreating, but not really having the luck of the British and dying in the process, but gaining a Iron Cross posthumously. They shall be remembered. Gathering fresh troops at the base, ready to stop any sort of British attack. Stuke pulling back successfully. The Volksgrenadier is actually somehow acting as a deterrent with the Panzerfausts. And an armored command truck has been moved in, meaning armor is about to appear. Fantastic. The sappers, not really much else to do, begin repairing, and generally the British commander is regrouping and preparing for a fresh attack on my positions. Already launching a bit of a short one here. Small one. Against my more veteran Volksgrenadiers now, who's also gotten a bit tougher and can resist a bit more damage.